Bore da, a chroeso I ddinas Caerdydd ac I seremoni radio Prifysgol Caerdydd. Good morning and welcome to the City of Cardiff and to the graduation ceremony of Cardiff University. I'm Dr. Chris Turner, and it is with great pleasure that as University Director, I welcome you all to today's graduation ceremony. We're here to celebrate our students' achievements, and I am particularly pleased to welcome parents, family and friends to join in this celebration. I'm joined here on stage by the President, the Vice-Chancellor, the academic staff and the Students' Union representative. The President of the University, Lord Kinnock, will formally open proceedings, and the Vice-Chancellor, Dr. David Grant, will receive students to their award. To my left, Professor Paul Atkinson, the University's orator, and later he will introduce our honorary fellows. Honorary fellowships are awarded at our graduation ceremonies to those who have achieved international distinction in their field. And today we're honoured to welcome Professor Wyn Roberts and Professor Julio Domingos Pedrosa de Luz de Jesus. Students, today marks a marvellous milestone in your life, as it does in the lives of those who have supported you over the last few years. And it's good to see that so many of them are here today. Now, I'm sure it will enhance your understanding and enjoyment of the day if we spend just a few moments going through the procedures for the ceremony. For those of you receiving an award today, perhaps you thought that passing your exams was the biggest challenge in gaining your degree, but an even bigger challenge faces you today. You have still to cross this stage and shake hands with the correct person. Try not to seek your award from anyone other than the Vice-Chancellor. The order of proceedings is included in the programme, along with the words used for the various stages of the ceremony, under the relevant heading. A presenter will read out the names of the students being received to the same award. When each name is called, the student will ascend the stage, walk towards the Vice-Chancellor and shake his hand. Now, whilst past experience has shown this to be a little more challenging than it sounds, your approach to the stage and your return to your seat will be carefully guided by our specially trained marshals. So don't worry. Once the ceremony is underway, it really is a case of follow the leader. And when you leave the stage, you will stand with your group facing the stage, and the Vice-Chancellor will formally receive you to your awards. You will doff in reply, and you will then be reseated by the marshals. When all awards have been received, students will be asked to stand to receive the university's greetings. And I will ask that all those who have received an undergraduate diploma or degree in any aspect of healthcare to stand for the recital of the medical oath. Also, and importantly, can I invite you to clap only after the Vice-Chancellor has admitted each group of graduates to their awards, and not as each one crosses the stage. This will ensure that your hands are still in reasonable working order by the end of the ceremony. Finally, can I also ask that you check and ensure that your mobile phone is switched off, please? We will be providing some musical entertainment later in the ceremony, and I can assure you it'll be better than anything your combined ringtones can produce. Lastly, and most importantly, enjoy the ceremony.
Good morning, Bore da, a chroeso. I offer you a very warm welcome to this graduation congregation as President of this university. And I extend particularly warm greetings to parents, partners, and others whose love and support has played a very substantial part in securing the successes that we celebrate today. To those of you who are graduating, I offer my warm personal congratulations. You have made a great achievement. You've closed one chapter in your life, and I believe that you can be absolutely confident that the qualification that you've earned from Cardiff University will be held in high regard, not just in the United Kingdom, but right across the planet. That reputation for excellence in teaching and research has been won over the 125 years that this university has been in existence. And to maintain that distinction, the university continues its commitment to advances in learning with investment that now runs at over £1 million a week. And it's spread across high technology, student accommodation, arts and humanities, innovative facilities in vision science, dentistry, information technology, clinical body scanning, child health, right across the study disciplines. Such developments also reinforce Cardiff's standing as one of Britain's premier research-led universities. We are officially recognised to be 7th out of 106 institutions in the United Kingdom for the quality of research, and in recent years we've seen huge rises in the research awards secured by the academic staff of this university. This year, Cardiff attracted new research funding which surpassed £110 million for the first time ever. And the awards went to a spectrum of activities, from engineering to history, medicine to law, city planning to philosophy, maths and sciences to theology. And it's performance like that which also this year has gained recognition for Cardiff as one of the top 100 universities in the whole world. That's a great way to mark our first 125 years of existence. And as we celebrate that 1¼ centuries, there's so much more to acclaim, including, outstandingly this year, the award of this year's Nobel Prize for Medicine to Professor Sir Martin Evans and the Queen's Anniversary Prize to the Institute of Medical Genetics. The launch of one of the world's most powerful supercomputers, the national and international prizes, awards, distinctions gained by our academic staff, and the sporting, cultural and academic achievements of our students. And then there's also, this year, been astounding success for our 2-year-old Cardiff International Academy of Voice, one of whose marvellous young singers, Paula Greenwood, will be performing for us later. All these and many other attainments give manifold proof of prowess, of advancing standards of opportunity, excellence, innovation, and above all, they give proof of Cardiff's commitment to nourishing the potential of those who come here to learn from all parts and all cultures of the world, and come to hone, to develop, to refine their talents, to fulfill themselves, and to serve the interests of wider humanity. It's those achievements, of course, the students' achievements, which are the greatest source of satisfaction to the staff and everyone else connected with the university, and they are what we celebrate today. I thank you all for your attention. I hope you enjoy the ceremony, and you can do so as robustly as you like.
Darllenni proclamasiwn ffurfiol y Cynulliad yn gyntaf yn Gymraeg ac yna yn Saesneg. The formal proclamation of the congregation will be read first in Welsh, then in English. Nerth gwlad ei gwybodaeth, a nation's strength is in its learning. Boed hysbys i'r holl aelodau'r Brifysgol ac ar hyd a lled y byd, fod Cynulliad o Brifysgol Caerdydd yn cael ei gynnal heddiw am Rhifddinas Cymru. O dan y dywdod Siarter Frenhinol y Brifysgol, mae'r cynulliad hwn yn cyfarfod i dderbyn y myfyrwyr sydd, yn rhinwydd eu hystudiaethau a'i hysgolheictod, wedi harholi yn briodol a'n unol astudida'r Brifysgol, ac wedi eu cael yn deilwng o'i graddau. Wrth ddathlu llwyddiant y rai sy'n graddio yn y cynulliad hwn, fe'i hatgoffwn o'i cyfrifoldeb i gyfrannu o werthoedd y Brifysgol hon. Nod iddynt hwy yw ceisio, trwy y cyflawniadau, gwasanaethu i'r lles pawb, ymdrechu i sicrhau rygoriaeth ym mhob peth, ac am boeni am ddyfodol a'n byd. Gwrandewch yn awchus ar ddoethineb, gan ei fod yn cynnig gobaith a gwirionedd ym mhob cenhedlaeth. Let it be known to all the members of the university and throughout the world that today, in the capital city of Wales, a congregation of Cardiff University is taking place. Under the authority of the university's Royal Charter, this congregation meets to receive those students who, by virtue of their studies and scholarship, have been appropriately examined according to the statutes of the university and found worthy of their degrees. We celebrate the success of those who graduate in this congregation, and in doing so, remind them of their responsibility to share in the values of this university. It is for them to seek, through their achievements, to serve the common good, to strive for excellence on all things, and care for the future of our world. Be attentive to wisdom, for it offers hope and truth in every generation.
I, Dr. Christopher Morley, introduce those who have received the degree of Bachelor of Science. Thomas Leslie Baines. James William Bowles. Andrea Siobhan Brown. Dominic James Caswell. Keris Corbett. Jennifer Ann Cornish. Joe Davis. Robert John Davis. J. James Dunstan. James Early. Carl Gibson. Edward William Hayden. Mark Hicks. Terence Hughes. Samantha James. Cassandra Louise Koufax Jones. Andrew Kuziak.
Bore da, good morning. At this point in the ceremony, and at other equivalent times, it is a tradition of the university for the Vice-Chancellor to speak in Welsh to receive each group of graduates to their awards. The Welsh phrase I will use, when translated, means, through the authority conferred upon me by the university, I receive you to the award or degree which I will name, and to all the privileges of that degree. Trwy awdurdod a brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd I mi derbaniad chwi I radd baglor mewn gwyddoniaeth ac I holl Frenia Rahon. Congratulations.
Victoria Kate Lloyd. Laura Ann Miller. Timothy Ronald Nichols. Leonie O'Keefe. Oliver Peerless. James Charles Pritchard. Jennifer Taylor. Rebecca Jane Thomas. Flora Lottie Thorpe Greenwood. Joseph Anthony Turner. James Vile. Kevin George Watts. Rhys Weldon Roberts. Gareth Thomas Whiting. Andrew David John Williams. John Llewellyn Williams. David John Zurev.
Rwy awdurdod a brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd I mi derbaniaf chwi I radd baglor mewn gwyddoniaeth ag ei holl Frenia Rahon. Congratulations.
I, Dr. Christopher Morley, introduce those who have received the degree of Master of Chemistry. David John Batten. Carly Jade Bevan. Gemma Louise Brett. Jodie Claridge. Paul Creasy. Alex John Criddle. Neil Richard Daniels. Kirsty Marie Davis. Kylie Louise Davis. Lee Michael Eddy. Emma Elizabeth Ely. Craig Stephen Ellis. Lisa Jane Evans. Ian Goodsall. Mayuri Gudka Shah. Kerry Hammond.
Rwy awdurdod a brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd I mi derbaniaf chwi I radd athro mewn cemeg ac I holl Franja Rathon. Congratulations.
Michael Harris. James Haywood. Tom Hollenby. Eleanor Holton. Stephen Robert Hughes. Jennifer Elizabeth Jones. Jennifer Lloyd. Wei Ye Lu. Edward Arthur Matz. Benjamin Alexander Palmer. Mark Allen Pendered. Catherine Poole. Valerie Ruth Seymour. Shazia Shakir. Wendy Yukbing Sum. Lucy Jane Taylor. James Stephen Wixie.
Rwy awdurdod a brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd I mi derbaniaf chwi I radd athro mewn cemeg ac I holl Franja Rathon. Congratulations.
I, Professor Roger Mansfield, introduce those who have received the degree of Bachelor of Science: Rhiannon Ellen Adams, Ada Arian, Daniela Orst, Rachel Barker, Alexandra Jane Bendel, Penny Claire Brereton, Hannah Louise Danielle Casey, Aaron Philip Dalton, Hannah Diane Devitza, Janine Davis, Sarah Davis, Laura Jane Duff, Jamie Lee Evans, Rachel Ruth Louise Evans, Christopher Francis, Nur Atika Haji Abdul Latif, Nur Hazarina Haji Mohammed Zain, Laura Hurd, Alexis Adam Hira, Andrew David Holland, Sarah Louise Hughes, Yana Marie James, Amanda Jane Jones, Heather Claire Jones, Sean Jones,
Rwy awdurdod a brifysgol ymddirchiadwyd I mi derbaniaf chwi I radd daglor mewn gwyddoniau ac I holl ffwranio radd hon. Congratulations.
Susan Lisa Jones, Laura Ann McDermott, Erica Marcel Maria Morn, Charles William Minton Needham, Alison Leslie Oakley, Neera Patel, Sarah Reinhardt, Daniel Smith, Jessica Louise Smith, Katie Louise Smith, James Stevens, Nabila Suhib, Catherine Rosalind Ward, Danielle Williams, Neil Anthony Worsley, Basma Al-Arami, Natalie Elizabeth Band, Gemma Claire Bartlett, Sally Bennett, Jamie Lee Bodman, Rianne Sean Bonello, Kim Brewster, Charlotte Mary Broom, Louise Chinnock, Elizabeth Helen Creevy,
Rwy awdurdod a brifysgol a ymddirchiadwyd I mi derbaniaf chwi I radd daglor mewn gwyddoniau ac I holl ffwranio radd hon. Congratulations.
Rianne Mafunwi Davis, Jan Day, Jessica Mary Denicola, Rebecca Rachel Dowling, Rachel Emma Edwards, Kathy Farr, Rebecca Louvain Gardner, Kay Alison Gilbert, Benita Jane Green, Alison Gregory, Julie Evelyn Hardman, Sarah Eluned Harris, Rowena Ann Harvey, Vicky Ho, Tim Jackson, Laura Jane Jeans, Claudine Latimer, Eileen Fiona Lillicrop, Sarah Lowry, Rachel Diane Meredith, Margaret Annette Morgan, Melanie Morgan, Sarah Michelle Parker, Eleanor Madeline Perkins,
Rwy awdurdod a brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd i mi derbaniad chwi i ra baglor mewn gwyddoniau ac i holl franiau rachon. Congratulations.
Rhiann Phillips, Heike Ranson, Helena Jane Rees, Kelly Rice, Julia Richards, Nancy Roberts-James, Joanne Claire Santos Matthews, Hannah Elizabeth Simpson, Colin Smallman, Tamsin Stickland, Marisol Taylor, Carolyn Georgina Shigionov, Karis Louise Thomas, Rebecca Jane Tomlinson, Samantha Jane Twigg, Helen Louise Verrill, Rowena Jane Wardman, Miranda Jane Watkins, Siobhan Wells, Morwenna Mary Rose Wyndham Smith, Mark Stephen Jenkins, Janet Lewis, Gary John Aldridge, Katie Allison, Stephen Richard Alvey, Oliver Atkinson,
Trwy awdurdod a brifysgol a ymddirchiadwyd I mi derbaniaf chwi I radd baglor man gwyddoniau ag I holl ffrania radd hon. Congratulations.
Elizabeth Susie Austin, Jason Lee Bailey, Dawn Louise Lauren Baker, Natalie Bubaya, Ruth Christine Bradley, Stephanie Jane Butler, Georgina Byrne, Eleanor Joanna Caney, Susan Linda Chiverton, Stephanie Clark, James Brooks Close, Michael John Coates, Alison Jennifer Cooper, and Harrod Georgia Crichton Griffiths, Jennifer Helen Dale, Loretta Elaine Daly, Christopher Michael Dudley, James Andrew Edwards, Naomi Ellis, Sarah Kate Ellsworth, Keris Louise Evans, Lauren Jane Eve, Alexander Ewins, Sarah Fisher, Catherine Louise Fishlock,
Trwy awdurdod a brifysgol a ymddirchiadwyd I mi derbaniaf chwi I radd baglor man gwyddoniau ag I holl Furanya Rathon. Congratulations.
Elizabeth Rachel Clark Fort, Leah Catherine Frampton, Helen Jane Gifford, Gemma Godber, Hannah Kathleen Grant, Hugh Lloyd Griffiths, Timothy John Griffiths, Camilla Haraway, Ryan Shane Hawkins, Alison Joanne Hayes, Rebecca Hemming, Jonathan Hill, Nicola Jane Hill, Hannah Hopkins, Elaine Hughes, Nicola Jeffries, Catherine Elizabeth Jones, Katie Rebecca Jones, Amanda Jury, Colleen Alexandria Kiley, Emma Jane Kingsingbury, Alexander Benjamin Knowles, Hannah Susan Lemon, Paul MacDonald, Carolina Victoria McSad,
Rwy awdurdod a brifysgol a amddiolchiadwyd I mi derbaniaf chwi I radd baglor mewn gwyddoniau ac I holl Furanya Rathon. Congratulations.
Natasha Jane Marshall, Holly Alexandra Mackenzie, Imogen Miles, Catherine Beth Morgan, Mary Morgan, Sally Ann Morton, Ellen Ray Murphy, Kingsley Jill Lytton Powell, Michael John Spencer Primmitt, David Gareth Rees, Luke Joshua Reynolds, Joanna Shim, Christopher Stephen Smith, Rachel Smith, Alex David Theobald, Eve Thomas, Alex Trevathan, Christopher Wagner, Lucy Waite, Brendan Peter Walsh, Catherine Rose Louise Webb, Joanna Louise Vegelin, Megan Williams, Oliver Williams, Yvonne Teresa Woodley,
Trwy awdurdod y Brifysgol, ymddeiriedwyd I mi derbaniaf chwi I rael baglor mewn gwyddoniaeth ac I holl ffwraniau rath hon. Congratulations.
Carly Joanne Pegg, Yvonne Teresa Woodley, Melanie Dawn Wright, Lindsay Andrews, Nikki Eccles, Jason John Griffiths, Rachel Claire Jury, Erin Mary McManus, Emma Elizabeth Helen Needham, Alexandra Jane Rees, Nicola Wendy Rogers, Bethan Claire Samuel, Joseph Sanford Pooley, Andrew Peter William Smith, Christy Jane Williams.
Trwy awdurdod y Brifysgol, ymddeiriedwyd I mi i'r debaniaeth chwi I rael baglor mewn gwyddoniaeth ac I holl ffwraniau rath hon. Congratulations.
I, Professor Roger Mansfield, introduce those who have received the Diploma of Higher Education. Darren Kevin Beecham, Claire Mary Beaverstock, Africa Bokos, Donna Mary Egan, Sally Griffiths, Kerry Louise Mia, Gareth Mundy, Glenn Victor Parry, Ian Rapsey, Michael John Thomas, Rachel White, Rebecca Williams.
Trwy awdurdod a brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd I mi derbaniaf chwi I ddiploma addysg uwch. Congratulations.
I, Professor Stephen Denyer, introduce those who have received the degree of Master of Pharmacy. Sumaya Shafifi A. Karim, Shazad Afsal, Ahmad Kamal Ahmad Suhaimi, Aliabi Kasim Alabiri, Abda Ali, Silta Arjan, Denise Ash, Alba Baja, Kaylee Jane Baker, Claire Elizabeth Bardsley, Jason Richard Bell, Jessica Marston Blight, Louise Ann Brindle, Owain Llwyd Brooks, Jake Alistair Brown, Dev Chada, Rema Chandaria, Fu Seong Chong, Suk Meng Chung, Catherine Louise Connolly, Paul Stephen Cornish, Robert Cousins, Adam Michael Crandon Lewis, Samantha Claire Davies, Alison de Courtenay-Welland.
Trwy awdurdod a brifysgol a ymddirchiedwyd I mi derbyniaf chwi I radd athro mewn ffrwchliaeth ac I holl franiau y radd hon. Congratulations.
Kelly Angela Dinnis. Erin Avion. Katie Laura Evans. Claire Joanne Faulkner. Thomas Ian Ferguson. Rebecca Fitzmartin. Rachel Claire Gibson. Catherine Jane Golis. David Goodwin. Richard Barry Goodwin. Claire Elizabeth Guest. Samiha Nisa Ghulam Hussain. Darshni Heria. Nicola Harries. Janice Suzanne Heaton. Lucy Caroline Holland. Oliver James Howland. Susan Fiona Huey. Carly Marie Hutchings. Shahista Ali Hussein Jaffa. Cara Louise Bateman James. Sadia Javed. Lee Edward Jenkinson. Stefan Rees John. Francis Christopher Johnson.
Trwy awdurdod a brifysgol a ymddirchiedwyd I mi derbyniaf chwi I radd athro mewn ffrwchliaeth ac I holl franiau y radd hon. Congratulations.
Emir Sean Jones. Victoria M. L. Jones. Zingsan Khan. Marianne Calaf. Nicole Lay. Jamie Louise Layfield. Alison Levine. Jessica Lewis. Bethan Jane Lloyd. Hal Liu. Catherine Laura McNamara. William McCulley. Rui Mera. Sally Elizabeth Mullen. Hannah Marie Louisa Napier. Rosamund Elisa Nuttall. Oyibuchi Ochunogo. Charlene Mai Ziang Ong. Neha Kiran Pabari. Maria Nefeli Panusi. Charles Peter Colville Parkinson. Nikita Dilip Kumar Patel. Elaine Percival. Anthony Perkins. Pim Anna Pettit.
Trwy awdurdod a brifysgol a ymddirchiadwyd I mi derbaniau chwi I ra athro mewn pwrwylliaeth ac I holl ffraniau rath hon. Congratulations.
Amy Victoria Pittman. Philip Evan Price. Mustafizur Rahman. Hayley Ann Raymond. Nassam Nahil Razak. Lubna Raymond. Alid Roberts. Jennifer Louise Roberts. Brianne Elizabeth Roberts. Sarah Jane Robinson. Bethan Emily Rogers. Rianne Eliri Rowlands. Haslinda Rustam Afandi. Adesola Opemei Sanya. Rishi Navin Savla. Sarah Jane Senior. Jinal Praful Shah, Sheena Sunil Shah, Kelly Sibthorpe, Bethan Cariad Stamp, Bryony Victoria Stevens, Rachel Victoria Swain, Pai Lin Tan, Si Mun Tan, E An Tan Lo,
Prwy awdurdod a brifysgol am ddirchiedwyd I mi derbaniaf chwi I raf athro mewn ffyrwyddiaeth ac I holl ffrania raf hon. Congratulations.
Jodie Taylor, Charlotte Louise Thomas, Christy Troy, Shinal Jainesh Vakani, Sarah Louise Watson, Sally Weston, Greg Westley, Neris Gwyneth Williams, Jing Yin Wong,
Prwy awdurdod a brifysgol am ddirchiedwyd I mi derbaniaf chwi I raf athro mewn ffyrwyddiaeth ac I holl ffrania raf hon. Congratulations.
I, Professor Malcolm Jones, introduce those who have received the award of postgraduate diploma. Sarah Margaret Cooper, Keris Duffy Rackman, Dean Arthur Whittle, Louise Williams, Laura Ellen Ann Blinman, Sharon Gillian Clark, Tariz Kamali, Madeleine Claire Perry, Susanna Elizabeth Stubbs, Catherine Sian Thomas, Teresa Payne.
Rwy awdurdod a brifysgol am ddealltwyd I mi derbaniaf chwi I ddiploma olraddedig. Congratulations.
I, Professor Malcolm Jones, introduce those who have received the degree of Master of Science. Noshi Iqbal. Lisa Marie Austin. Carly Davenport. Terry Efosa Egosa Egareba. Michelle Kathleen Fry. Saravanan Curve Bakaran. Sarah Kate Knowles. Alexandra Krasukatska. Tracy Rose. Luso Kumwenda. Yao Judith Minkoff. Susan Laura Mary Parme. Nikuru Jibwaku. Karen Julie Jones. Castir Kakahel. Karen Susan Manuel. Shona Louise Tilling. Stephen John Griffin. John Lascarane Aquabena.
Rwy awdurdod a brifysgol am ddealltwyd I mi derbaniaf chwi I radd athroman gwyddoniaeth ac I holl ffreiniau rachon. Congratulations.
I, Professor Malcolm Jones, introduce those who have received the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Daniel Thomas Archard. Simon James Baker. Danielle Michelle Brown. Kieran John Cole. Eleanor Rowan Davis. Emir Daniel Davis. Gareth James Street Evans. Timothy John Kenhart Gibbs. Sarah Glennie. Simon Hayes. Natasha Claire Hurst. Robert Lation Jenkins.
Trwy awdurdod y Brifysgol ymddirieithwyd I mi derbaniad chwi I radd doethir mewn athroniau ag I holl ffraniau radd hon. Congratulations.
David Paul Mills. Stuart Niven. Edwin Natanya Nidifo. Anthony James Proctor. Umukaran Sithan Parapillai. Andrew James Watts. Yanjun Zhao. Adito Milola Adaromlu. Syed Mahmood Al-Khalaf. Talai Ray Buggins. Martina Fela. Elaine Leslie Ferguson. Stephen Peter Fox.
Trwy awdurdod y Brifysgol ymddirieithwyd I mi derbaniad chwi I radd doethir mewn athroniau ag I holl ffreniau radd hon. Congratulations.
Helena Gilbert. Sioned Griffiths. Sian Elizabeth James. Eleanor John. Olaf McCarthy. Liam David Morgan. Christopher John Morris. Sian Aleri Owens. And Sophie Williams.
Trwy awdurdod y Brifysgol ymddirieithwyd I mi derbaniad chwi I radd doethir mewn athroniau ac I holl ffraniau radd hon. Congratulations.
We now come to an important and indeed solemn part of the ceremony, and that is the recital of the medical oath. Can I ask all those who have received an initial diploma or degree in any aspect of healthcare to stand? Can I also invite the platform party to stand? The oath reader will declare the oath first in Welsh and then in English, and then I will ask you to agree the oath with the words, "I do."
Yr wyf yn addo mae fy mlaenoriaeth gyntaf fydd gofalu am fy ngleifion. Byddaf yn ystyriol wrth fy holl gleifion, ac fe ymdrychaf i gyfathrebu yn effeithiol yn hwy. Byddaf yn parchu urddas ac annibyniaeth fy ngleifion, ac yn parchu ei hawl i ymwneud yn llawn ar penderfyniadau ynglŷn â'i gofal. Byddaf bob amser yn onest ac yn ddibyneiadwy, a byddaf yn parchu ac yn diogelu gwybodaeth gyfrinachol. Ni fydd fy nhaliadau personol yn ymharu dim ar gofal a roddaf i'm cleifion. Gan cydnabod bod fy nghymhwysedd yn gyfunedig, byddaf bob amser yn diweddaru fy ngwybodaeth am sgiliau proffesiynol. Os credaf nad o'i fi, ni cydweithwr yn addas i ymarfer, fe weithredaf yn gyflym i ddiogoli cleifion rhag risg. Ni fyddaf yn gamddefnyddio fy sefyllfa proffesiynol, ac fe weithiaf gyda cydweithwyr yn y ffyrdd gorau lles y cleifion. Ni fyddaf byth yn gwahaniaethu yn anheg yn erbyn fy ngleifion na am cydweithwyr, a byddaf bob amser yn barod i cyfiawnhau fy ngweithredoedd wythynt. Roddaf y ddewyd hwn ar fy llw o wirfodd ac o ddifri calon. I promise that I will make the care of my patients my first concern. I will be considerate to all my patients and will strive to communicate effectively with them. I will respect my patients' dignity and autonomy and their right to be fully involved in decisions about their care. At all times, I will be honest and trustworthy, respecting and protecting confidential information. My personal beliefs will not prejudice my care of patients. Recognising the limits of my competence, I will keep my professional knowledge and skills up to date. If I believe that I or a colleague may not be fit to practice, I will act quickly to protect patients from risk. I will not abuse my professional position and will work with colleagues in the ways that best serve patients. I will never discriminate unfairly against patients or colleagues, and I will always be prepared to justify my actions to them. I make this promise solemnly, freely, and upon my honour.
Do you agree the oath?
I do.
Can I now invite all of you who have received your awards this morning to stand so that you can receive the greetings of the President and the representative of the Students' Union.
Boed eich gofal yn wastad, drws-lwyd ac anrhydydd ein prifysgol, a'r lles ein byd. May your care ever be for the good name and success of our university and the well-being of the world.
You are now distinguished members of the alumni of this university. May your association with the university be cherished and constant throughout your life, and may your care ever be for the fellowship of our university and the welfare of all people.
Before you sit down, I'm sure that all you very proud graduates would like to join in a long-standing tradition at Cardiff at these ceremonies, and that is to pay a special tribute to your families and friends and indeed to the academic staff who have supported you over many years and who have helped you reach this important point in your career today. Can I therefore invite you to turn around, to greet your family and friends, and to say a special and public thank you to them all by giving them an enthusiastic round of applause. Please be seated.
Vice-Chancellor, sir, it's my privilege and very great personal pleasure to introduce Professor Wyn Roberts as a Fellow of the University. Professor Roberts recently retired, though he hasn't stopped working, as Research Professor in Chemistry after a long and distinguished career at Cardiff. He held university appointments in Queen's University, Belfast, and Bradford University before joining Cardiff nearly 30 years ago. As a scientist, he is recognised internationally for his outstanding contribution to surface chemistry and catalysis. He and his students laid the foundations for Cardiff's continuing success in physical chemistry. Moreover, as head of Department of Chemistry between 1988 and 1997, he played a major role in ensuring that, at a time when many departments of chemistry have faced difficulties and even closure, at Cardiff University chemistry has remained strong and indeed has gone from strength to strength. As you know, sir, a catalyst, and this is virtually all I know about surface chemistry and physical chemistry, it's probably wrong anyway. As you know, a catalyst is defined as something that promotes change without itself being changed in the process. And as well as being Wyn's field of research excellence, it also serves as a metaphor for the man himself. He was Deputy Principal of Cardiff between 1989 and 1992. It was a period of profound change for Cardiff, following the financial crises for University College and its merger with the Institute of Science and Technology. It was not an easy time for anybody, and for those charged with senior management in the university, it was a very special challenge. Cardiff was fortunate in having a man with the experience, wisdom, and integrity of Wyn Roberts as Deputy Principal. And it's in that sense that I mean that he has effected change without being changed in the process. He has remained steadfastly true to himself, to the values of science and scholarship, resistant to passing fads, and rightly sceptical of innovation for the sake of it. Wyn Roberts has been the recipient of a number of major prizes for his research work. They include the Tilden Lectureship and Medal, the Surface Chemistry and Catalysis Award of the Royal Society of Chemistry, and the John Yarwood Prize and Memorial Medal. But I think I know that he prizes, above most honours, the successes and achievements of his students and colleagues, who have been the fortunate beneficiaries of his warmth, his wisdom, and the generosity of his spirit. And many of them contributed to the Festschrift, Surface Chemistry and Catalysis, in his honour in 2002. Wyn was recently made a Freeman of the Worshipful Company of Haberdashers and awarded the Freedom of the City of London. For his outstanding contributions to science, to scholarship, and to the well-being of Cardiff University, I'm proud to present Wyn Roberts to you, sir. Yn rhydeddus is gan hellor, cyflwynaf I ti Wyn Roberts, fel Camrawr Prifysgol Caerdydd.
Awdurdod a roddwyd i ni gan y Cyngor derbaniad di fel Camrawr Anrhydder Prifysgol Caerdydd.
Vice-Chancellor, Lord Kinnock, graduates, guests, and Professor Atkinson. I have often been asked, why did I choose chemistry as a career? I've always found it rather difficult to answer it succinctly. But there are two events in my early life which might possibly provide some sort of explanation as to the path I decided to follow. The first was when I was about 10 or 11 years old. I had read that you should never attempt to dilute concentrated sulfuric acid by adding water to it. Well, I thought, why not? It's, after all, how you do dilute solutions. You add water. And this intrigued me, and I was inquisitive as a 10 or 11 years old. Soon afterwards, on a Saturday morning, I went with my father to the technical school in Ammanford. He went to his room, and I went to the science laboratory. Now you can guess what happened. I poured out some concentrated sulfuric acid and added water. There was a violent reaction, and the acid spilt into my face, into my eyes, and I landed myself in hospital. What I learned was that adding water to sulfuric acid is a highly exothermic reaction. Now, that was a long word for an 11-year-old boy from Ammanford to have to assimilate at that time, but it was my first experience of chemistry. So being inquisitive had taught me some science, but I also had got myself into very serious trouble with my father. The second event was a few years later at the local grammar school, where the chemistry teacher told me, Roberts, go out to the fields behind the school, collect some grass, collect some flowers, and come back and make a solution in some solvent. I was then about 16, 17 years old. And he said, after you've got it into solution, stick a piece of chalk, you know, the stuff we used to write on boards with. Stick a piece of chalk into the solution and see what happens. Well, we waited for 15 minutes or so, and what happens is that rings appear in the chalk. Yellow first, then later orange, then later green. And this, of course, was something very new to me. And the chemistry teacher asked me, what do you think is going on? Well, first of all, let me tell you, he said, it's chromatography. a new word for me. What happens is that the complex organic molecules have been separated out in the chalk. And of course, chromatography has become one of the most important aspects of analytical science. But I learned it at the age of 16 or 17 in the school laboratory in the Amman Valley Grammar School. 3 years later, 2 Englishmen, Martin and Singh, were awarded the Nobel Prize for chromatography, but I had done that experiment already at a 16 or 17-year-old. It's a combination of being inquisitive and being inspired by our teachers that is important for the development of our scientific instincts. Whether today's school teachers have time to go outside the curriculum, the rigid curriculum, I doubt very much, and that's a great pity indeed. I am particularly grateful to the university for allowing me to continue in an honorary capacity to pursue my interest still in chemistry. Chemistry is a core subject in the sciences, and I can't conceive of any science-based university not having chemistry as one of its leading subjects. Unfortunately, many have closed over the recent past. Chemistry, of course, deals with molecular behavior, central to medicine, central to pharmacy, and the science of materials. It is, in fact, what makes things happen. Whether you're thinking about the industrial scene or whether you think about how our body behaves in the context of subject I'm very close to, enzyme catalysis. But there is indeed much more to chemistry. Of the 6 vice-chancellors that I have worked with, been involved with, one, Sir Eric Ashby, had been a botanist. Dr. Grant, our present vice-chancellor, was an engineer. But what about the other 4? The other 4 were chemists. What more need I say about chemistry? A wide-ranging discipline with implications right across the scene. And I've been privileged to have worked not only with engineers, but also with chemists at Cardiff and at other universities. Science at this university is very strong, internationally competitive, and I have been very fortunate to have been a small part of it. It is indeed, Vice-Chancellor, Lord Kinnock, with much pleasure and humility that I accept the award of a fellowship of this, my university.
Vice-Chancellor, sir, it's actually my very great honour to introduce yet another chemist who has directed the university. It's my pleasure to introduce Professor Julio Pedrosa Zejush. Professor Pedrosa is a prominent and distinguished member of the Portuguese academic and scientific communities, and we ourselves are very pleased and proud at his continuing involvement with Cardiff University. It was here that he completed his PhD some 30 years ago, and indeed one of his sons was born here in Cardiff. It's conventional to point out that Portugal is one of our oldest international allies, and Professor Pedrosa is one of the most distinguished embodiments of that long-standing relationship between our two nations. He has developed various lines of scientific collaboration with colleagues here in Cardiff, and a substantial number of his extensive output of research papers have in fact been authored with Cardiff staff and students. Professor Pedrosa graduated in physics and chemistry from the University of Coimbra in 1967 and took a master's in chemistry in 1973. In 1974, he took up a post at what was then a new university at Aveiro, just after its foundation, where he became a full professor in 1986, and where he has served with great distinction since. His own research in chemistry has been focused on materials chemistry, and his own research centre on inorganic and materials chemistry has become a national centre of excellence in ceramics and biocomposite materials. He has combined his research in chemistry with an outstanding record of achievement in the governance of higher education in Portugal. He was elected rector of Aveiro University in 1994 and, most unusually, re-elected rector for a second term in 1998. Under his guidance, the university has developed into one of Portugal's leading institutions with a magnificent campus designed by many of the country's leading architects. Under his guidance, the university has established many major new departments and institutes. Professor Pedrosa has also been prominently active in many European-wide initiatives in higher education, including the Bologna process of harmonisation of university degrees across the European Union. His commitment to education has not been confined to the university sector alone, however. He has served as Portugal's Minister of Education, and the Gulbenkian Foundation has funded his School at Home project, which seeks ways of getting whole families to become engaged with scientific questions in the home. We in Cardiff share his commitment to such public engagement with science and technology. It is therefore with great pleasure that we welcome Professor Pedrosa back to his Welsh home as a Fellow of the University. You'll kindly clap before I had to do the Welsh.
Llwyr awdurdod a roddwyd i mi gan y cyngor derbaniad di, fel cymrawd Anffrada, Prifysgol Caerdydd.
Vice-Chancellor, President, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, graduates. I would like to start by congratulating you all for this very special event in your lives. A university degree from a very prestigious research university is a unique asset for anybody. You are celebrating such an achievement, and I'm delighted to have been given the privilege to join you and your families in this moment of joy. In September 1974, I moved to Cardiff to initiate my PhD studies with my wife, Helena, and our eldest son, Miguel, aged 2 at the time.
In June 1975, our son Paul was born at the University Hospital. I was then fully engaged in my research program under the illuminating guidance of Professor Bob Gillard in the inspiring, friendly, and multicultural environment of the Inorganic Chemistry Group of the then Department of Chemistry. What I can tell you today, dear graduates, is that we have shared the privilege of being educated in the great and singular atmosphere provided by Cardiff University, Cardiff City, and Wales. In fact, Cardiff University gave me also the opportunity for a stimulating and successful cooperation that involved several colleagues and students after finishing my PhD. This happened in a difficult and fundamental period for the development of the new University of Aveiro in Portugal, where I returned to as a lecturer. You may very well understand how delightful I am for being here today, for enjoying the moment of being distinguished with the title of Honorary Fellow. I do thank, from the tip of my heart, to the University, to the School of Chemistry, to Professor Bob Gillard and Professors Peter Edwards, and to all those responsible for awarding me such a distinction. When I came to Cardiff, I was faced with the challenge of answering the following research question. Is God left-handed? This was a creative way of asking for the origin of optical activity, or why are natural amino acids left-handed? Since then, the Inorganic Chemistry Group, the School of Chemistry, and the whole university developed immensely. I would like to tell you that whatever we do at the university, if it is well done and aiming at searching answers for good questions, it will open us the doors to accept future responsibilities in any field that will be open to us. In fact, trained as a chemist, I could serve my university in teaching and in research, as Pro-Vice-Chancellor and Vice-Chancellor, and in many other ways. But I also found out that an educated person can well respond to other responsibilities, not only in our own countries, but in several international arenas. In this year of the 125th anniversary of Cardiff University, I can only wish a flourishing future and congratulate the institution and all those who contribute to her promising coming years. All this could only happen because I had understanding the continued support and love of my family, in particular my parents and my wife, Elena. It is therefore with special delight that I enjoy and share this moment with Elena and with our two sons and daughters-in-law present here in this very unique and important ceremony. Thank you all again for allowing me to enjoy such an important and meaningful honor today. Thank you.
Vice-Chancellor, honorary graduates, honorary fellows, real graduates, ladies and gentlemen, it's now my very great pleasure to introduce you to one of the current students of the Cardiff International Academy of Voice, a young Irish soprano, Paula Greenwood, who this morning will sing Mozart's Alleluia. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Greenwood. This, happily, isn't just the city of Grand Slammers and Cup finalists. We've got the Cardiff International Academy of Voice as well. When I hear these young people from all over the world performing, and I've been fortunate enough to be able to go up to the Academy to hear some of them, I think it'd be a very good reform of these occasions if the President shut up and we just had singing instead of me talking. But as President of the University, it's now my duty to draw these proceedings to a close. Obviously, this occasion is one of the most pleasurable in the university calendar, indeed in life itself. And it's a real joy for us here on the platform, as well as parents and partners and friends, to see the graduates going across this platform with a mixture of pride and a certain amount of relief as well. Not just at the fact that the accomplishment has been achieved, they've got their qualification, but at the fact that they actually managed to make it across this red strip of carpet, which, when you consider the heels worn by some of the young women, is no mean feat. But this has been incident-free. Nobody's lost a mortarboard, nobody fell down, nobody was ill. So it must count as a success. Indeed, these occasions always are. I think of them as a time of smiles. It's almost like Christmas morning extended over a few days as the members of staff watch the various schools graduating on these occasions. To those who have graduated, I say, I hope that you feel that you've been happy in your time in Cardiff and that you will long remember that. I hope that you feel confident that the qualification that you've secured will stand you in good stead throughout your lives and careers, and I hope that you will use your talents to the maximum potential in order to fulfill yourselves and also to make a subscription to the good of the world and your fellow human beings. To us, of course, you'll always be Cardiff people. Oliolgaeth Caerdydd. And we hope that you'll be proud to carry the identity of Cardiff wherever you go, wherever you work, wherever you thrive, and also that you'll be ready to use the advantages of our worldwide alumni network. I also, on this occasion, make a special request. And I do so because, as you've heard, it's the university's 125th anniversary year. The request is that you graduates and your friends and family try to make a contribution to the fund which we've established in order to provide more bursaries and scholarships to 125 future Cardiff students. We're not asking for huge donations, although if some come along, we're not going to turn them away, I have to tell you that. But what we really want is the commitment, the contribution that will enable others in the future to study, to succeed, and to enjoy a day like this. To each and every one of you, I wish you good fortune, good health, and every success in the future. Llongyfarchiadau, iechyd da, a phob llwyddiant, yn eich dyfodol. Diolch yn fawr iawn.